Hi everybody, do you know what inbound marketing is? And better yet, have you ever heard of HubSpot? Hey everybody, Dennis Schiraldi coming to you live from TBG Digital Headquarters. My guest, my partner in crime, riding shotgun today, Miss Beth Hawks. Beth,
hi.
Welcome to the DOYO Live Marketing Show. So stoked to have you on board. Before we jump into talking a little bit about you being the only certified HubSpot marketing agency in the area, we're going to talk a little about DOYO Live for just 2 minutes. First of all, appreciate everybody dropping by. Becky, thanks so much. This is the DOYO Live Marketing Show. We'd love to hear what you think, so let us know. Our conference is coming back August 2nd and 3rd. August 2nd, optional workshops. There are 3 of them, deep dive workshops. August 3rd, all-day digital marketing event. I want to just put this out there right now. We've already got 60 tickets that are accounted for DOYO Live in 2017. We have an early bird ticket registration that's open right now. So you want to go and grab those tickets. Last year we sold out 200 tickets for our event. So just want to keep that in mind. In the meanwhile, Beth Hawks had a really good excuse for not attending DOYO Live last year, and I haven't forgotten about it. Beth, why don't you tell the good folks in our audience why you weren't there?
So I signed up to be a speaker,
Yes.
and I sort of gave you the heads up I may or may not be giving birth at that exact moment in time because you hadn't set the date yet when I signed on.
Yeah.
So this year I'm going as an IOU to my dad, who ended up doing the presentation.
He did.
So
yeah, and he did a great job. And we had them involved last year. And if there's any excuse that you can use to get out of DOYO Live, having a kid is at the top of that list.
Yes.
Outside of that, there really aren't any.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
So anyway, I really appreciate you dropping by today,
Well,
and
thanks for having me.
and have enjoyed the relationship of getting to know you last year. I spoke at the Women Entrepreneurs Group through the YBI. You were in that class with another business that you work with, and then seeing you around town a little bit here and there. Obviously speaking at the conference, and then like I do with a lot of the people that either attend or speak, get together for lunch as well, which that happened a few months back. But in any case, why don't you tell us a little bit about, that's the context of our relationship. Why don't you tell a little bit about your background in marketing in TBG Digital?
Okay, so TBG Digital is a family-owned and operated consulting firm. So I work with my dad. He's the owner. At one point, my brother worked with us. He doesn't anymore. But we have a small team of digital marketing consultants. Everyone on our staff is HubSpot inbound marketing certified.
Sweet.
And our agency itself is now partner certified, and we're one of only 9 offices in the state of Ohio.
That's amazing. It's a big deal.
It was a lot for us to go through the certification process, but it was also an amazing learning experience. In our industry, it's a little bit like the Wild Wild West.
Okay.
Especially, I've been out of school now for 10 plus years from college, and my background...
But who's counting?
Yes, and my background is actually, I have a political science degree. So this is not what I intended to do,
right.
But it's amazing that I fell into it. But anyways, there's not a ton of accreditations or certifications you can get. I mean, now you can go to school, you can get a degree in it. I didn't, but HubSpot has done an amazing job of making sure that every year we're on top of the latest trends.
Yep.
We make sure we get recertified. It's just a good, not only educational tool for us as an agency, but then allows us to provide amazing information to our customers.
Absolutely. With Beth Hawks from TBG Digital and a DOYO Live breakout session leader. John, thanks for dropping by. I hope Florida is treating you very well right now. And that you don't have anything better to do in Florida but to watch this marketing show. So that means everything to us. In any case, talking about HubSpot and inbound marketing, and you're right. So the thing that I tend to tell people all the time, and one of the reasons why I started DOYO Live as a marketing conference, is to raise the competency and understanding and awareness of digital marketing in the world that we're living in today. And to be frank, there's a lot of people running around claiming expertise in this industry. Mm-hmm. And I say that anybody pretty much with a username and a password nowadays can be calling themselves a digital marketing expert. Google has some certification and partnering programs for Google AdWords.
Mm-hmm. Which we are also certified in.
Which is great, by the way. There's not a lot of agencies that have that. And then as you go through that crediting process, let's talk just a little bit about HubSpot and inbound marketing methodology. HubSpot is first and foremost a technology company that really coined the phrase of inbound marketing. And that's utilizing interesting, compelling content out of the Joe Pulizzi Content Marketing Institute genre to create thought leadership and authoritative position that people want to actually call you for that advice. And here's the interesting about HubSpot. They absolutely love me because since 2006, I've been rapidly consuming their content and really never been a customer.
You are what they would call a lead that has been in the funnel for a significant amount of time.
I have been
but they do have amazing content.
They have amazing content. And if, I say this all the time, that like literally you put me out of business, just go to Google. Knowledge is a commodity in this point in day and time, but time and execution are not. The amount of time it took for you to get the certification in HubSpot was a big, huge investment. But let's talk a little bit more in depth. HubSpot, the company, but let's talk about inbound marketing methodology from your view as a certified HubSpot partner.
Okay, so before I get into that, a little bit about our background as a firm. My dad came from 21 years of consulting at IBM. So he has a background in going into businesses, seeing what their needs are, listening to what their problems are, and then providing a solution that fits that problem.
Right.
Inbound marketing is that idea. It's understanding who your target market is, and they call them your buyer persona.
Right.
And instead of just utilizing the demographics of, hey, this person's 42, they own a business, they have 2.5 kids, it's putting it into practice and saying, okay, now what does that mean for our services and our products? Not everyone is ready to buy when they find your website or they read your postcard. There is a significant amount of time that they're in your sales funnel, and that's their buyer's journey. And the idea of inbound marketing is that you're creating content that meets their needs in every phase of that.
Right.
So it's lead nurturing.
It is a ton of nurturing. It's not self-serving about you. It's more geared towards the individual and education.
And how can we help our customer?
Right.
So it's just exceptional customer service from the word go. Before you even touch that person, how are you helping them?
Right.
So I work a lot in B2B. Many of my customers are manufacturing. That is a segment where they're slow to pick this up because it's always product focused. What are the features? That's it. Like that's what they're used to.
Yep.
So shifting that idea and saying we need to stop talking about us and be more concerned about them. That's the idea of inbound. So it's creating quality content and over time earning that right to speak to them again and again and again so that when they are ready to make that purchase, there's no other decision for them. It's you.
Right.
You're the expert. You've spent the time. You've given away as many free things as you can give away, which is great. And now they say, well, this company knows their stuff. We're going to go with them. They'll pick up the phone and call you. So I think that's important because in traditional marketing, you're talking at someone. You're throwing stuff out. You're hoping stuff sticks. And we do traditional marketing.
Right.
I place ads in trade show magazines. I still do it because it's a good way to augment an inbound marketing strategy. You have to have bits and pieces, but you also need to do it smart. But I think inbound is opening that conversation and being there when people have a need and seeing you as a solution. So
well put. And, I completely agree with that. So when you talk about traditional marketing methodology, what we do from my perspective is that we leverage our online analytics and data for our inbound marketing strategy, and then that's how we spend our dollars even more intelligently for better conversion. And what I mean by that, whether it's my email or whether it's my opt-ins, those a lot of times will trigger some sort of print publication or direct mail or postcard, which is more traditional, which is disruptive, meaning that disruptive marketing, traditional marketing, is self-serving. I'm watching a TV show, and now all of a sudden I have to let somebody, a brand or a vendor, into my life because they want to come tell me about it based upon the demographics of the show. Everybody loves to get the phone call at dinner time that interrupts them.
Every time at dinner time. Why is it always at dinner time? My husband's pretty good at it.
Yeah.
You will tell them I'm sitting here with my family.
I love, so John's on the line here, and he's from Greenheart Builders, so give them a shout out. You're here locally in Youngstown, Ohio, doing some really big things regionally, commercial and in residential as well. And so he floated me a ticket to the Cleveland home show. So I went up, and it's really interesting, just for lack of better terms, this is a very archaic industry. There were T-Rexes walking around the showroom floor, And they say that because the show doesn't even endorse social media as a way. And you have all these HGTV stars that are Instagram people, and they don't even leverage that. And the way I found out about the show, to John's credit, is that he was on Facebook saying different things about the show that week. So I went up, gave me a ticket, and I was talking to a gentleman, and he was talking about how they canvass a neighborhood when they're doing a job. And basically what they do is they do a job in a neighborhood, and then the street team goes door knocking to everybody in that neighborhood, and they go in and they say, we're doing this job next door, and we wanted to tell you about this. And I said, well, that sucks, because so you're going to show up on my door, you're going to knock, and you're going to interrupt my day because you got a self-serving need. I go, I got 1,000 more ways to better approach that. I go, and I go, how many times a day you get your door slammed in your face? He's like, out of 100, probably 96. I go, that's a hell of a way to make a living.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and there's a lot of industries that are like that. Now, there's some that are very advanced. Like I would say real estate is a little bit further, less on the inbound marketing, but jumped ahead as far as online stuff. So it just depends, but it is shocking when you go into something like that. And we do a lot of work with fire and EMS. Same thing.
Yeah.
Trade shows are where it's at. You pay 40 grand for the space. You bring your 4 ambulances. You let people come in, and I say, well, everybody that's going into that booth knows who you are. They're just coming to see a unit. That's not, you know, like, how can we get new people in? What are you doing offline to generate more interest? It can't just be, hey, come see our unit. It should be, these are the top 5 safety considerations you should be thinking about so your crew makes it to the job the next time they go out on the road. So it's a different mindset, and there are a lot of industries that haven't picked up on it. And I think part of the problem is it's a very time-intensive process.
It's lifestyle versus diet. It's liposuction versus getting out and running regularly.
And people who take the time to make the investment, just like if you go to the gym and you work out, the people who are going to take the time are going to reap the biggest rewards. And it's a patience thing. You got to put your patience hat on, as I would tell my 3.5-year-old, and just do the work. Come up. Did
we bring the patience hat for me today, by the way? Because I have no patience for nothing.
So I think that it takes. As far as a marketing company, when you go in and you say, okay, this is going to take 6 to 12 months for you to start seeing the return, people aren't really, they're open to it. They're becoming more open to it, but it's harder. So you really have to say, okay, I promise. We did our homework. We did our keyword research. We broke out who our buyer personas are. We understand their journey. These are the content. And 2, understanding what content is relevant when. Let's
get into content here in a second. So we're talking about buyer persona, where you develop the buying habits and how people, go out throughout their day. So for instance, I have a rose gold iPhone, and I downloaded Musical.ly. So basically I have the same buyer persona as a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah. Well, and some of that too.
I'm joking. But no, so you do develop the buyer persona based upon either content or technology habits, income, level of, your title, different things like that in your industry that develop pattern recognitions of how you can get information and content and engage with people.
Well, and I just want to talk a little bit about buyer personas real quick, because I think it's hard. When I was doing the women's class at the YBI, a lot of them were startups, and they didn't necessarily know who their buyer personas were yet because they hadn't been out there. And for us, we've been in business 10 years. I look at my buyer personas and I say, okay, of all these people that could buy it, who do I actually want as a customer? Because I think sometimes that's hard for businesses to sort out too.
Okay.
You can have all these traffic and all these leads, and you can sell things to a lot of different people. But what's going to get you the most for your money? What is your ideal customer?
Yeah.
So talking to the people that you have a great relationship with, or if you're B2C, people who have purchased repeatedly from you, what's that person like?
Yep.
Maybe it's picking 3 out of the 10 different buyer personas and just focusing in on those. It makes it a little bit easier than picking 20 different people you could sell stuff to.
Then when you say who is your ideal customer, and they say everybody.
No.
They never get that one.
No.
So let's
it's not, I'm telling you.
Let's talk about content. So content comes in a lot of different forms. What are some of the things that you recommend that people do from, like obviously inbound is fueled a lot of it with content and interesting, compelling content. So what are some of the content delivery mechanisms and forms that you see to be effective?
So of course, blogs. That they've been around for a while now. If you're not really blogging and you're trying to provide information, I would say that that's something you should go back to. Now, I think they're more effective when you include things like video, and you can repurpose content too. So you can do the same topic on multiple platforms. It might be a YouTube video, it might be the same thing repurposed in a blog and then an email. But I think that knowing what your topic is and then saying where is this person at in the different phase of their buyer's journey, that's going to help you better pick which platform. So when we're talking about people that don't know anything about your company, your product, or service yet, your blog's a great one.
Okay.
They might type in a long tail keyword phrase, search for something. You want a very specific post to come up. They're just researching a problem. You may be the solution, you may not. So those are very generic topics, things like, top 5 tips for picking a digital marketing consultant, or what is inbound marketing. Like, that's where you give away your general info.
Okay.
Then as you're trying to move people along and it's more of a decision stage, that might be a case study.
Okay.
What was the actual return on investment for this particular client? And I'm using my business because I'm familiar with it, and those are good.
It's a great example, and you start at the top by giving away free content and advice through your blog, which has dual meaning, right? So you have content that you're distributing on different platforms and syndicating, and then there's an inherent search engine optimization value to the words and the content being on the screen. So now people are finding you, and now as you push people, that's top of funnel awareness. As you start to come down into the consideration phase, you then have a higher value, what we call asset. Something that somebody's going to download. It is a live show. Ralph, thanks for joining.
And I can't use real phones.
And if you happen to see a good 30, 40 foot yacht down there at the boat show in South Florida, pick it up. And me and you on the back of that boat doing a Facebook Live would be amazing. With Beth Hawks from TBG Digital and a certified HubSpot partner agency here in Youngstown, Ohio, and also a breakout session leader at DOYO Live 2017. So as we talk about consideration phase, now your online currency is the exchange of your name and email address for access to that higher value piece of content.
Yeah, so the term is landing page, and it should always include a content offer and always include a form. It's amazing how many people are like, oh, we designed this great landing page and there's no form on it. How do you know who downloaded that? Did you just give it away? So a landing page should have the content offer. It could be a video, could be a PDF download, could be a PowerPoint. There's tons of different options.
Yep.
It could be a free trial. Sure. If you sell something that's a piece of software, whatever. So you're going to collect a valuable piece of information from them, their name, their email, their phone, whatever. And then in return, you're going to give them that content offer. Now, at that point in time, so we have most of our customers now on HubSpot, which will actually take in that information, and there's a built-in CRM. So there's the marketing piece and there's the sales piece.
Yep.
Well, then what are you going to do after that? So someone downloaded your piece of content. They're clearly not ready to buy. One, because you know that you used all the homework you did on your buyer personas and buyer's journeys. You developed that. You can pretty much say, we know they're right in that consideration phase. How are you going to continue to market them? Did you, once they downloaded it, push them to another content offer that's more of the decision stage? That's a smart thing to do. Did you say, we automatically enrolled you in our email, you can opt out if you want, thanks for downloading it, if you'd like to set up a call to discuss with us, fill out this form. You want to continue to move people down. A lot of times what we see is you'll develop an amazing content offer and they're time consuming.
Yes.
Especially if it's something like a white paper or a case study, you spend a lot of time developing things like that, pulling in the stats, making it a quality piece, branding it with your business.
Yep.
Make it worth it. So you've got that name and that information. What are you going to push out next to them? So being smart about, we're going to take action 1 and then push them to action 2 and then 3, and then hopefully at some point down here at the bottom, they pick up the phone.
You're not going to just be consuming content for 10 years and not buy anything.
I don't know anyone like that.
No, not at all. Listen, so again, so you got to have the thing in the content delivery mechanism. And so we'll jump over now to, one of the things that people do kind of too quick is that they follow up a little bit too quick in the process. So you get the download, you get the phone call, and you're like, I didn't get a chance to read this yet. But as you go through that nurturing phase, so one of the things, so you have this amazing piece of content, you turn it into a commercial activation where it's dressed up nicely, case study, white paper, guide, whatever you want to call that, and you're getting access and you're getting exchange. The one difficult thing that you'll notice, we live off of a WordPress site for right now, and we'll go through
we keep all of our sites on WordPress too.
Right. Okay.
So there's the option to like tie in different things, but still keep the whole thing on a WordPress.
And we use MailChimp, which again, none of this is ideal, by the way. This was all cost-effective bootstrapping, like piecemeal. We're living proof that you can have a very effective inbound marketing strategy and have it to the point where it scales to a certain extent, but then you run out of options and you need to start looking at software to be more sophisticated and serious, because content needs to live in a repository and needs to be very seamless and deliver a good experience when it comes to the download and the capture. HubSpot's technology does some very interesting things with the CMS, with being able to score and profile, pull in social media contact information, give you various data points that are very important. And just a simple fact of building a landing page and having where are you going to store that repository of information so that they can download it and get it easy is complicated, but it doesn't have to be. So talk a little bit about the HubSpot technology and the platform.
So to simplify it, HubSpot's basically your one-stop shop.
Yeah.
So a lot of times right now, what you'll see is people have their WordPress site, they use Google Analytics. That tells you how much traffic you have, but it doesn't necessarily tell you who your traffic is.
Correct.
You might have a phone tracking system that sends your
Guilty.
phone calls to your thing. And you might know, like, hey, the phone number on our website received 20 calls this month, and
Correct.
you might be able to listen to those phone calls, but unless you have it tied into a CRM, did those calls result in sales? That's you in a spreadsheet, which is not the most efficient time, if you're even at the spreadsheet.
Well, I actually have HubSpot CRM, but I'm not religious about putting the information there. Guilty.
Got it.
Continue.
So then you have Facebook, and you check there for insights, and you might know what your interactions were on a post. So the idea with HubSpot is it's one central system to not only disseminate your marketing information, and that's the marketing piece of it, but then they sell a separate thing, HubSpot Sales, that's a CRM, and when the two work together, I can go as detailed as Dennis came to the site this morning, he downloaded my white paper, then he signed up for my email. Next week I sent him out the email, he opened it, he went back to my site, downloaded the white paper I promoted in that email, and then if it gets to the point where you pick up the phone and you call, you can track the phone call in the system, and then if it does close, I can go into my CRM and I can say, okay, this deal was 10 grand, it was this, whatever. So you can use it for forecasting or for...
And it's incredibly intuitive as well. So what I've noticed about using it and what I really like about it is that if you take the website and you put it into the contact when you create it, it actually populates automatically a lot of information.
Well, it goes beyond that.
Right?
It goes,
It's
yeah,
cool.
like you're populating the company. Most of the time, in the CRM side of it, as long as the email address, the URL in your email address is the same as your website, it'll pull in automatically for you.
Yes.
So you don't even have to do any of that. So it'll tell me, hey, this customer belongs to this company, there's this many employees, they do this much in revenue a year.
And it's hard with follow-up as well to know when you need to, from a sales perspective, what was the last conversation I had? When do I need to follow up? What did that conversation look like? And so this is obviously a very powerful tool. And HubSpot has been around since 2007. They're now a publicly traded organization. I went to Inbound 13. I heard Arianna Huffington and Seth Godin give a keynote speech and got to see One Republic. It would have been more amazing if Jay-Z would have showed up, but I was not bitter at the end of the concert. Anyway, there's like 10,000 people now that go to Inbound. It's a really big deal.
Yeah.
There's tons of companies that have spawned out of the Boston-based marketing, inbound company that have spun out of MIT and places like that. So it's a real movement that's going on. So it's really cool that, Beth is going to be at DOYO Live giving a presentation on inbound marketing.
I'm not giving birth this year.
She's not giving birth. And she will be doing a 45-minute breakout session on inbound marketing methodology with the basis and the fundamental behind HubSpot. TPG Digital is the only certified HubSpot agency in the entire area, so if you want to have a conversation with them, I highly recommend that you reach out and give them a shout. They're great people. They will give you as much advice as they could possibly give you. If they can help you, they will. If they can't, they'll even point you in the right direction, which is a great thing. I think that the services that you provide. What else do we want to talk about as far as anything that we left unsaid, at least from today's conversation? I appreciate you coming by. Yeah. So you're not getting out of here unscathed. We do rapid fire questions.
Okay. I won't look, I swear.
Right. Are you a morning person or night owl?
Night person.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
First thing you do when you wake up?
I have to go get the baby. At this point in life.
I went and got a baby last night. It was our 12-week-old Labrador Retriever named Hooper, who was crying in his cage at 3 o'clock in the morning. And since my wife took the burden of the storm with the kids, when we had them, and then I was working, you
did a trade.
We did the trade, so now I do the puppy.
Got it. That may be just as much work.
As cute as Hooper is, my words for Hooper last night were not very glowing. What's on your desk?
Not that much right now because we just moved, so it's like a printer and a laptop, and that's it.
Sweet.
And I'm hoping it becomes a really nice setup, but it's not right now.
It'll get there. What's on your smartphone home screen?
Nothing. Just the default.
I
got a fancy Pixel, which I love, and I just never changed it.
Interesting. Pixel, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Favorite way to waste time at work? If that's a thing.
You know what? I think it's really hard when you're in our industry to get on Facebook and do something for a customer and not go and check your personal stuff. So that happens a lot. It's like the rabbit hole of, and I have to be careful not to post anything because...
I will tell you right now, this is no lie. I cannot disclose the marketing agency, but I spoke with somebody and they said, we do not allow our people to be on social media during the day, even though they do social media management.
I believe it.
And I go, what? I go, that's insanity. And the hardest thing that I find is to have the discipline when I'm working with somebody from a consulting perspective on their social media, to stay focused on their social media.
Yeah.
And you just can't help the fact that something populates in a feed. I'm like, oh, look, Beth's kids are so cute.
Yeah,
and
it is hard. It is hard.
It is, and so...
Now, thankfully, I probably won't get fired, but... my dad's my boss, but that's okay.
I know, it's a distraction for most people with social media, and that's where we, again, you're studying it, and, the fact of the matter is, it has become so time-consuming and somewhat of a time suck for so many other people that I just figured out a way to turn it into a way that I make income.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. Since we started moving most of our social stuff there's a monitoring publishing platform in HubSpot, I don't even have to go in there. I can just schedule posts. So if I have customers that aren't on HubSpot yet, yes, then it becomes a little bit of hey, I'm just going to log in through their username and password and not even see my stuff. But it's nice now that you can go in and you can see everything in one place, and I love that it tells you who the people were and when they picked it up, and it's really awesome.
That is awesome. So, let's see here. Dinner party guest.
Like, who would I want?
Who do you want around that table?
Oh, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, while she's still here.
Right on. Who? Anybody else? This is you and a big bottle of wine. No. Okay. One-on-one. That's good. Favorite personal possession?
Oh, I have one of those silhouette cameos that cuts all the vinyl stuff that I just got for Christmas, and I'm pretty obsessed with it.
Like it.
I'm a crafty person.
I wasn't going to ask this question. I was not going to ask this question. But since we joked around a little bit before we got on to the Facebook Live, drag racing, NASCAR, open wheels, Formula One.
It's Formula One in my house only because of my husband, who since I started dating him, has always been obsessed with it. And I told you before we got on here, we cut the cord to cable like 5 years ago and never looked back.
I'm down with that.
And we have a Roku, and I'm happy with Netflix. I'll binge something every now and then.
Yes.
We don't really watch a lot of TV.
By the way, Netflix binge watch Abstract. If you've not seen it, you will love it. It's all about branding and design. So when I work late,
I like to do that. I like to binge watch so I don't have to think about it.
I know, but I work late at night until late at night, like most people, and then I shut it off. And I'm like, oh, let me dumb this down with some binge watching. And then I start watching stuff on marketing, and I'm like, this is. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. So, anyways, we only have PlayStation View, the channel, so we can watch Formula One racing. That's it.
Nice. And there's 2 North American Formula One events.
Now there are, yeah.
Austin, Texas.
There was a period of time when we were dating or first married that they got rid of all of them here.
Yeah.
So I told him at some point in his life he can go back.
They came back to they go to Montreal. They went to Indy, I think, and then
I think there's at least one in the U.S. now. I think it's in Texas.
Austin.
And they're working. I don't know if it was last year or not, or if it's still like up in the air, but. And my husband's gonna like be rolling over in his grave not knowing that I don't know this, but I think it's by Hoboken. They're building a track.
Beautiful.
So
lovely.
There's gonna be one on the East Coast too.
Or New York, or New Jersey. Rap, rock, or country?
Oh, rap.
Nice. Who's your go-to?
If you heard my phone ring accidentally, it'd be Wu-Tang Clan, and we were talking about how inappropriate it is sometimes that it goes off. It's Gravel Pit. In some situations,
I knew I loved you, Beth. I didn't know why, but
I'm so cool. But then in others, I'm like, oh, did that ringer
just by the way, just so that you don't know, we are in TBG's headquarters in Canfield, Ohio, maybe the whitest suburb in America.
But we love our Wu-Tang here.
Usually my Fridays are hip-hop Fridays, and I can relate.
Yeah.
They're at the top of my list, too. Any book that you're reading that you'd recommend or a book that you'd recommend everybody reads?
I'm not a reader, so no. The last book I read...
You got a flipboard?
The last book I read, honestly, is over there, and it's called Boys Adrift, and it was really good. But it's like a parenting book for parents that have boys, so that's not really applicable to everyone.
I've got boys, but I'm just fumbling through. I've got 2 very good mentors, my brother-in-law and his brother, Don Marchionda and Nino Marchionda, who are on like the cover of every parenting magazine that's ever existed, and both of them are all raising boys. So I look at their parenting.
There you go. So you don't need to read. You don't need to read.
Favorite guilty pleasure?
It probably is binge watching on Netflix. Only because I try not to do it, and then once I get sucked in, I can't stop. I'm watching Call the Midwife on Netflix right now, and it's good.
Amazing. No. I just got done binge watching the OJ stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
It is incredibly...
You know what? I can't watch things like that. My husband's a prosecutor. He'll just analyze things as we go through.
Oh my God. Do you remember the first go around where you...
I think I was in 5th grade when
they
finally made the announcement that he wasn't...
I knew where I was. Like I was clocking out of working the afternoon shift at the Falcon Foundry in college in Lowville, Ohio, and somebody said, "Oh my God, OJ's on the run," and then we all just went to a bar. And we sat at the bar and drank beer and watched this unfold.
I remember the trial, but I don't remember the details of it.
So I'm binge watching that right now, or actually I just finished that up.
Have you seen Man in the High Castle?
No, should I?
It's at Amazon Prime. It's incredible.
Okay. All right.
Do you like post-apocalyptic stuff?
I'd like to believe that I'm a big enough sissy in the post-apocalyptic world, I'm screwed.
So the premise of this show is...
I'm not going to survive.
The Allied powers lose in World War II. The U.S. is split, half Nazi Germany, half Japan.
Interesting.
And it's like an alternate, I guess, like
worldview. They re-engineer
history.
So let's close that out, and we're almost done here. Our battery's going to die. Something unique about you. Do you want to tell them a little bit about your other thing?
Yeah, so I have a side business. I I find that when you do digital marketing, it's a lot of, especially because I work from home,
Yep.
it's a lot of me and my computer and conference calls. And so I don't get to interact with people one-on-one, and I don't get to make things with my hands. And that really, like, I need an outlet for that. So I have a side business. It's called Hawks Homestead.
It's really cool. And are you going back, we could give a shout to Youngstown Fleet. Are you going to be
there.
at Youngstown Fleet, April 22nd, Derek McDowell, who's been on our DOYO Lives, have a tremendous amount of respect for everything that he's doing. Check out Youngstown Fleet. Just go to Google Youngstown Fleet. You'll find the entire lineup. April 22nd. Beth will be there with...
Not at the April one, because I have a conflict, but I'll be there.
Baby again? You have a baby?
No.
You're like,
A family shower.
Okay.
That I can't miss. So I'll be there this summer, but I do small batch personal care products made 100% from scratch with
Very cool.
essential oils, and it's things like deodorants and body butter. And really, I got into it because I'm a hippie on some level, and I have eczema really bad, and I was looking for different ways that I could cut down on my exposure to toxins from different products that you buy in the store. So I made my own, and now I sell it. And you're not at my house today, but I got a chicken coop when I moved in. So maybe I'll have chicken eggs pretty soon.
That's my other one question I ask people all the time about backyard chicken farming, from Joe Polizzi and the Chicken Whisperer and the whole content marketing play. So basically, in Joe Polizzi's content marketing, it's the content that fuels the inbound marketing strategy, and he keynoted our conference last year. And he asked the question, how many people know a backyard chicken farmer or are one? And out of 200 people, 100 hands went up. And you can walk in a room nowadays and you can ask that same question, and a whole movement has started. And there's an individual he goes by the Chicken Whisperer, and he started basically backyard chicken farming, gathering in his backyard. And as they did that, they said, you should, you're really knowledgeable, because he was knowledgeable about everything about chickens. Mm-hmm. So he started blogging, and then this started to grow traction through content marketing and delivering the content through over the course of a year. And he grew this following, and now he's got a podcast 5 days a week that's syndicated.
How do I not know about the backyard chicken whisperer?
He's got sponsorships from major chicken companies. He gets invited to conferences, not marketing conferences, but food conferences as a chicken celebrity. So it's a whole...
I need to know about this chicken celebrity. I'm going to have to look him up.
It's a really...
I'm sure he'll have tips for us.
He will. Google the Chicken Whisperer.
All right.
And you'll find... But that is very unique. And I relate too, because I got away from products, like the cleaning products at our house. We're all organic with our food as much as we can be. I stopped putting fertilizers onto our lawn and mulch the leaves, hoping that will keep the weeds down. And if it doesn't, we've got beautiful little yellow flowers.
Good for the bees too.
Switched the deodorant up to the lack of my wife's personal taste, but the metal, just trying to get
and
that.
in men's, it's way worse.
It's way worse. So I hear you. So you're doing a good thing there. So thank you. Wine, beer, or liquor?
Wine and beer.
You like to have?
You know what? Hard cider is my favorite.
Ooh, nice.
Like, we served Strongbow at our wedding before that was cool.
I got into Strongbow like last Mike's. I like Mike's hard cider, the black can with the.
I won't drink Mike's.
Okay.
I'm an original Strongbow person. In fact, I get mad now when I go in the store and it's got the apple on the can, because you used to be able to go in and there was you had no idea what it was. People are like, "What's Strongbow cider?" That's my inner hipster. I'm really frustrated that that's finally caught on and people know what it is.
Yes. You're such a hipster. You know what? I do that though. The minute that I say I'm in the cool kids crowd about once every 10 years, because my tastes don't change. I like a white T-shirt, a little glass of red wine, maybe a cigar, and craft. I was drinking Sam Adams when people were like, and now it's obviously Sam Adams is not crafty enough for.
Well, it's when things get too cool, then I don't know.
I've been to 30 Dave Matthews concerts.
Oh. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. I was at 30 Dave Matthews concerts when I was couch surfing back in the mid to late 90s, before this was a thing.
Yeah.
Right? You'd go and it was very organic, it was very startup, but then all of a sudden it's become so bro cultured fraternity type of environment that I haven't gone to a concert purposely in probably 10 years.
Yeah. Well, things change, and as they do get more popular, it becomes
yeah.
I don't know. So I don't know, Strongbow and I.
Okay.
Take your marketing back. Get rid of the other.
Who's the biggest influence in your life?
My parents. I mean, we have such a good relationship because, I mean, I live 2 minutes away. I work for my dad. It's kind of hard to escape. So, my parents.
Best professional advice you've ever been given?
I don't know. I'm blanking.
I'll tell you.
My dad's my mentor.
He's your mentor. It's just daily.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily. There isn't like one phrase that he really sticks with, but I think you learn a lot from someone who's willing to leave the corporate life behind, dump everything they have into a startup, and just say, you know, there is no option for failure. We are going to make this work.
Yep.
And we've seen a lot of ups and downs. Like when he first started, he purchased a franchise. And by like 4 or 5 years into the franchise, I was giving the talks on social media for 500 of their franchisees across the country. Like at that point, they're not adding value to you, you're adding value to them.
Right.
So you say, okay, well now I'm going to buy my way out of the franchise, we're going to go it alone, we're going to do it. And I think I've just learned a lot from being your own boss, and even if there are ups and downs, just staying the course and doing what you believe in, even if you're not, you know, break and bank, but you're able to spend time with your kids and be at their activities and to, you know, live by your family so that you have that support. I think that it bleeds a little bit over into lifestyle, but it's your professional, that's a professional advice too. And it's him leading by example and just saying, you know, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this. And I don't really care. Like, this is how I want to, you know, this is my legacy. I'm leaving this business. You could do what you want with it. And we're all going to live here in Canfield and be close.
And get down with the Wu-Tang Nation.
That's it.
Seriously though, I don't mean to make light of that. I really resonate with that story. I really like that. I like you coming on and telling that, you know, that's as real gets, and I appreciate that. And I know that the marketing and entrepreneur people out in the world today will appreciate that as well. Thank you everybody for dropping by today. Beth Hawks from TBG Digital, check them out. Only HubSpot certified marketing organization in the Youngstown area, so that's a huge thing. And thank you for dropping by. DOYO Live Digital Marketing Interactive Design Conference, August 2nd and 3rd, Youngstown, Ohio. We've already got 60 tickets allocated. We sold out last year. Early bird pricing, it's $150. $150. Prices will go up at the end of May. Prices going to go up. Yeah, we're getting there. So get your ticket when you can. Let us know what you think. Do me a favor, by the way, if you could. We've had an interesting review on our Facebook site from somebody that did not even attend DOYO Live, and you get trolls. If you could, do me just a favor. Go to our Facebook site. Give us a positive review. If we deserve one. If we deserve a positive review, tell us what you think. It would be very beneficial and helpful to us. So thanks so much, everybody, dropping by. Have an amazing weekend. See you.